You're only in your mid-30s. It's too late. The children are depicting you as Unk. I think you will be depicted as Unk, and I as Unk Prime, I guess. I don't know. Hagstorians are Unks. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like for the most part everyone is well behaved, so very, very few people need moderating for the most part, which is why I don't really rely on mods. There's some, I think, on YouTube from joining Phase, but aside from that, it's fine. And there's nothing wrong with being an Unk. Like, Unk is just a sign that, hey, guess what? You grew up in a great time to be alive. And unfortunately have had to witness shit get worse. Whereas the kids calling you Unk have just always lived in an awful time to be alive and have never known what it's like to live in a time of happiness and bliss. And so they lash out at the people older than them because they are supposedly responsible for the reasons that the society is worse. Meanwhile, I was like, oh damn, I didn't buy a house when I was 17, so now I can't ever own a home. And they're like, oh, I wish I bought a house when I was -2 years old. Ugh. Like, well, yeah, we didn't get the chance either. But, you know, at least we got to experience the fucking transition from Nintendo 64 to PlayStation 5. They've just only known, like, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. To them, a retro console is like the original PS4, because that came out in 2013, and that's a fucking 12-year-old console. Whereas to me, a retro console is a Pong table. Yeah, you won't believe the things we consumed. I played Halo 2 on Xbox Live when it came out. My parents and I watched American Idol on the TV when it aired season 1. I forgot what the punchline of that video is. I forgot. What does he say? What does he say? Oh man. What was the punchline of that video? Someone help me. I'm not sober enough to remember it. Oh gods. You don't know shit about that. That was it. That was it. You don't know shit about that. I don't get the reference. It's a very funny video about a guy, like POV, you sit next to your 36-year-old uncle at the dinner party. Where's Five?
I bet you don't know shit about
that. No, I'm fucking in the way. He's wearing a Halo piece. He's wearing a Halo 2 t-shirt. Every night. He was there when the Crunchwrap Supreme came out. And the Cheesy Gordita Crunch.
Family and I watched American Idol season
yeah.
1 together.
I didn't, because I'm not American.
Harry Potter movies in theaters.
I did too! After I read the books. Yeah, me too. Nobody thought Obama could do it. Nobody.
You used to have a student email.
That's true. That's true. There you go. You had to use a student email to use Facebook. You watched all of Naruto filler arc from 110 to 220 when it was airing. You don't know shit about that. I watched all of the original Naruto on Vimeo in 7-minute chunks, and sometimes it was in Spanish. You don't know shit about that. That's how old I am. That was before Vimeo became music themed. It was supposed to be like an artsy-fartsy creative website. And then people just used it to upload copyright content, and then I think they closed it, and just all of the YouTube video stuff are now Vimeo accounts, I guess. Like, I don't know, Nicki Minaj Vimeo or some shit. Buffering videos on the platform in the early 2000s. Yes! I used LimeWire to download the paid version of LimeWire. You don't know shit about that. Do you guys know that LimeWire is coming back? Isn't that crazy? You remember when we had phone call limits? I remember when text messages were more expensive than phone calls. You don't know shit about that. How many GeoCities accounts did I own? I didn't own any GeoCities. What? If you didn't know, text messages used to be really expensive. That's why people used to shorthand text type, because you had limited characters. If you didn't know that, you had to type like what. So what was like WT or WHT, R, letter R, U, letter U, doin, DOIN, question mark. Or sometimes you wouldn't even do question mark because you had limited characters. Yeah, what are you up to? That was a common one. Yeah. You remember when it's called a floppy disk and not a save icon. That's true. What you up to? Exactly. That's the shit that we had to deal with. NM, HBU, exactly. You cut out all the vowels and you tried to trim down on as many consonants as possible. And that's why people texted and typed like that. Which is why it's kind of when you see people typing like that online, it's like, what the hell, kind of, like, it's really confusing, because they could be my age bracket and they just never typed normally ever, or they could be like 12 years old and they don't know how to type properly, you know? They could be either ancient or the most baby of baby, you know? ABC was 2 key and DEF was 3 key. Yes, you had the key. You had to type letters. Because you had a physical numpad on the screen. There was no keyboard. You had to press the button. If you wanted to use F in a message, you had to press 3 times. Because if you pressed 3, it would type D. If you pressed it again, it would type E. If you pressed it again, it would type F instead. But you had to do it in quick succession. Otherwise, you would type DDD. You still prefer that way of typing? Okay, you are insane, because that was not a good keyboard setup. I don't know what the name of that typing setup is, that keyboard. It has like it's like 9? Is it T9? T9 still exists? It's not good. You wouldn't mind DDD right now? Okay, Clown Wrangler. I have a feeling a subset of my audience wouldn't mind DDD either. Might have been a while for a lot of us without a DDD. But it's been a while. DDR? I was never a DDR player.